Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to the SoulFire podcast. I'm your host, Tammy Goerke. We're going to talk about all kinds of topics, all centrally focused on inspiring and empowering women, insights, tips, and tools for living life to its fullest. This is going to be a mix of solo chats and weekly interviews with women who are living life their way, whatever that may be, so that you can envision what's possible for you. I Am Inspiring Women is going to be a subsect of SoulFire podcast. Not sure if anybody's ever done that, but this is going to be 2 podcasts in one, so hope you enjoy. We'll talk about the ways to have an attitude that will get you through anything and what you can do to reconnect with your inner child and better manage those reactive emotions. We will discuss how to work through those limiting beliefs and what it takes to be a light in the world. This is a place to discover how other women are thriving in their chosen profession, whether it's an artist, a business owner, an entrepreneur, stay-at-home mom. Will discuss the real and honest truth about what being a woman means to us. These women talk about challenges and successes, how they deal with the ups and downs of life. These are real women who are sharing their stories so that you'll be encouraged to live your best life. Inspiration, motivation, and transformation. Let's encourage each other. Let's lift each other up. Let's learn and expand our possibilities in this world. Let's share with each other what being a woman means to us. Life is an adventure, and being a woman right now is the biggest adventure of all. Welcome to episode 4. So today I want to talk about your inner child. I know it's this huge thing going around. Everybody wants to talk about their inner child. I am a kid at heart, so I think this is something that's easy for me, and I kind of get a little confused when I talk to someone and they have no idea how to connect to that playful side of them. They're so serious and thinking of, you know, I've got to get work done. I've got to be responsible. I've got, you know, obligations and things that I've got to get done. I got to take care of this, got to take care of that. Kids, family, house, business, job, whatever it might be. Pets, family, kids, whatever it might be. And I think maybe we need to take a little bit more time and reconnect with that playful side of us. I mean, when was the last time you spoke to your inner child? When was the last time you had a conversation with her and asked her what she wanted to do and then actually did it? How often do you, just go lay in the grass and, get some sun or, stare up at the sky and see what you can make from designs you can come up from a cloud? We get so caught up in what we've got to get done on a daily basis, and we forget that it's okay for us to have fun, to enjoy life. I mean, that's the whole purpose of us being here, is to enjoy life. And how can we do that if we haven't connected with our inner child, if we haven't, allowed for that playful side of us to come out? I mean, really talking to that child, to really talking and having a conversation with that little part of you that enjoys life. Have you had a meaningful conversation with that still small, quiet voice that's in you? When was the last time you did that? When was the last time you asked her what she wanted to do and how she was feeling? How she thinks about what's going on in your world, or how she feels about, you know, relationships that you've got going on. Your inner child really is that part of you that will tell you the truth, that will connect you to a deeper side of yourself, but you can't do that if you don't have a conversation with her. And whether you do that through journaling and asking questions and, having a conversation like you would with anybody else that if we haven't talked to her in a while, you want to start off with a conversation with, hey, how's it going? I haven't talked to you in a minute. Are you all right? What's going on in your world? And then listen. One of my favorite journaling exercises is what I call dual writing. And what that is I take different colored pens, and you can either write with the same hand, your dominant hand. But my favorite thing is to take 2 different colored pens and ask questions with my dominant hand, which for me is left-handed. I'm left-handed. So I will ask questions of whatever part of me that I want to talk to. So in this case, my inner child, say, hey, how's it going? What's going on? What do you have to tell me? What, concerns do you have? What makes you happy? Um, how do you feel today? Is there something that's bothering you? Is there something that you want to discuss with me? Is there, an idea that you've been kind of mulling around that you'd like to talk to me about? And then I sit and I'm quiet for a little bit, take my right hand with a different colored pen, and I just start writing. And I write and I write. And obviously, most people are like, well, my non dominant handwriting really sucks. And I don't think I'll be able to read it. Once you start doing this, if you're not comfortable doing it, fine with your non dominant hand, that's fine. Use your dominant hand. Just use a different color so that your mind, your brain thinks, okay, this is another um another way of communicating with you, another way of showing you that this is not, your logical side speaking to you. And with me, I've been practicing writing with my non-dominant hand for a very long time because in school they wanted me to write right-handed. So my non-dominant hand is actually pretty legible. That being said, I get a lot of insights from writing in this way and journaling in this way. Sometimes it takes a little while. Sometimes it's not, it's not an overnight thing that you're, think about a child. If that child's been hurt or dismissed for a very long time or not made to feel very important, that child is not going to open up very easily. They're not just going to, depending on the age, that child is going to be a bit reserved, be a bit quiet, not really want to communicate with you. And you've got to consider that if you haven't talked to your inner child in a while, your inner child is going to be the same way. That little part of you is going to be rude. She's going to say some mean things that you haven't been paying attention to her, that, you don't care about her. You never talk to her. Why should she talk to you? All of these things. And yes, whether you're making it up or you feel like you're making it up, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you're having this conversation with yourself about things that you really are concerned about. And getting those feelings out and allowing yourself to work through that process will enable you to work through some other more difficult processes in your life. Regardless of whether you believe that this is true or you're actually talking to, another part of yourself, it doesn't matter if you believe it or not, but there are multiple personalities in all of us, regardless of whether we become that person or not. Those pieces of us are in there. And, we've got to find a way to communicate with them and heal those hurt little pieces of us. Parts of us, when we're hurt, parts of us leave and go to safe places within us. We build walls. We create little worlds within us. And we've got to be able to communicate with those pieces of us to be able to resolve those issues, to be able to heal those wounds. Even a small wound is something as small as a teacher telling you that you got a bad grade on a test. It may not affect you in the grand scheme of things, but a little pieces put away and hidden away over the course of a lifetime builds up. And if we don't accept that and we don't acknowledge that and we don't work through that, then it's like a piece of us that's stuffed into a closet every single time that we get hurt. And we end up with a large portion of ourselves stuffed in a closet, hidden away and protected, quote unquote, protected, but not able to get out and see the light, not able to be out and be a part of us. And it's hurtful. We've got to be able to let that piece of us come out of the closet. It's okay for us to allow ourselves to work through those in the best way that is for us. So even though there's a piece of us that's hidden away we can access that through journaling, through talking, through taking the time to figure out what it is that is hurt in us, what parts of us are feeling neglected, what parts of us feeling unloved. Working through that, journaling and going to therapy, whatever it is that you need, helps bring you back to your whole self, helps bring you back to the person that you really want to be, and, allows you to be more complete and more centered and feel much better about yourself. Talking to your inner child is just one small piece of so many different processes that you can work through. So, ask yourself those questions. Sit down, take some time, 15, 20 minutes even, and just journal and write out some questions, things that you would talk to a regular little kid about. Introduce yourself like you would to a regular little kid and ask her yourself, your little child, ask her how she's feeling. How's she doing? What's going on? And see how see what kind of responses you get and go from there. And when you get that feeling that you want to go play on a playground, that's your inner child telling you that you need to go have some fun. That you need to take a chill, you need to take a break, and you need to go have some fun. So go have some fun. So I hope you enjoyed this. I know it's kind of crazy and fun and, talking to yourself. I talk to myself all the time. So tell people around you that you're on the phone. Nobody knows. You put your earbuds in, pretend like you're talking to somebody on the phone. So, I hope you enjoy this. Please subscribe and we'll see you back again for the next episode.